so, you know, lefties have always been considered soft, liberals have been considered soft, and too weak-kneed, and too nice to criminals and to poor people. And the right wing has always been considered these mean bullies, right? So what Ben Shapiro, this new thing they're doing, is that they switch it around.
They just make something up.
So whatever is the horrible thing about, it's exactly what happened with George Bush and John Kerry, right? George Bush skipped out on his service to Vietnam, and so what do? The worst thing about him, we throw it on John Kerry. Hey, John Kerry's a coward. John Kerry, yeah, he got 3 Purple Hearts, but he got shot in the ass running away.
Right.
So this is what Ben Shapiro did. He's the master of this now. So he's written a book called Liberal Bullies.
Once you see this guy, it's going to be hard for you to believe he's a master of anything.
So
but, yeah.
And so he went on.
Unless we're talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So he went on. First of all, yeah, he's been writing some great news stories lately based on jokes.
He looks like he's 9.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, he went on with Pat Robertson. And by the way, later on you're going to see that he actually is such a maniac that he makes Pat Robertson the sane one in this conversation. So let's start out. Here's Ben Shapiro's here's why because we all know why Mitt Romney lost, right? It certainly wasn't because they hated his policies, America.
No.
They couldn't have rejected conservatism in its present day form. It couldn't be that. They've got all these new ideas of why Mitt Romney lost. Here's Ben Shapiro's idea why Mitt Romney lost.
The reason they lost is because both candidates really succeeded at defining their opposition. Mitt Romney defined Barack Obama as a nice guy, good father, good family man, believed in the Constitution, believed in the Declaration of Independence, just not very good at being president.
Yes. They've been calling Barack Obama a Muslim socialist terrorist from Kenya who wants to take your guns and kill your baby in your womb since day one. And now, but really, it's like, Ben, since Breitbart died, it's like you guys aren't even trying anymore. This is the best you can come up with, this alternative reality. Again, the cure for their out-of-touchness is to be more out of touch.
I sense that the next soundbite will be his explaining of how Obama characterized Romney, but Ben Shapiro isn't going to be able to share that with us because, oh, look at the time, recess is over. Here's what he says Barack Obama said. Here's how what Ben Shapiro says Obama defined Romney.
Barack Obama painted Mitt Romney as the worst guy since Stalin. He was somebody who liked to chain dogs to the top of cars. He had binders full of women because he hated them. He specifically fired employees so that later their wives would die of cancer. And it has the predictable effect. Most Americans, given a choice between good guy, bad president and horrible human being, will choose good guy, bad president.
Yes, that's why people voted for Barack Obama, because they didn't think he was a good president.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Thank God he wasn't any good at all, or he might have lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Also, I like that the things that they said about Obama are made up. Socialists, they don't know what socialists are. Hugo Chavez, that guy was a socialist.
That's a socialist.
Right, and then, but the little things they throw out there about Mitt Romney, you know, they said he had binders full of women and he tied his dog to the top of the car. Like, well, look, he did.
He did.
Yeah, like, he's the one who said binders full of women, and he's the one who tied his dog to the top of the car. The other thing you mentioned, I actually agreed with him on. That bullshit commercial about like Mitt Romney fired me.
Oh, right.
Although Mitt Romney did fire him.
Mitt Romney did fire that guy.
Right. I mean,
and his wife did get cancer,
right.
and he didn't have health coverage.
Right.
Those things actually, that's the weird thing about what Ben Shapiro just said is that, yes, all those things actually did happen.
Right.
All those things actually are true. That's the weird thing. So he has some advice.
That guy, by the way, Ben Shapiro is going to do great in the Model UN. I mean, he's going to kick ass.
Ben Shapiro. So here, he has some advice. Now, what should the Republicans do going forward? Here's Ben's advice.
I think they have to stop arguing policy. You can't argue policy with people who are uncivil. Civility is like the Geneva Conventions. Once you step out of uniform, it no longer applies.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the Republicans' big weakness, according to Ben Shapiro, is they're too intellectual.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, they spend too much time intellectually arguing that Obama was a Manchurian candidate sent here from Indonesia to destroy America. And now they got to get a little tougher.
Yeah, and he also works in another old school Republican talking point because he brought up the Geneva Conventions, and
Yes.
for literally the amount of time between when he finished the words Geneva Conventions and the next word to come out of his mouth, I thought, oh, look, he believes in it. But no, No, it's back to the Geneva Conventions. Once you step out of uniform there, they don't apply at all. So we're going to go to a country, by the way, where they don't wear uniforms, and then we're going to go, aha, you're out of uniform. We invaded your country, but you're not wearing fatigues that we acknowledge as being proper for a war, so you're all enemy combatants.
Yeah, Republicans can't argue policy with those uncivil liberals, right?
Yeah, right, totally.
Yeah. Republicans need to stop arguing policy and go back to rigging voting machines. Right? They were so civil with Obama.
They were, yeah.
They didn't even use the N-word in mixed company. That's how civil.
Right, they only emailed it.
Okay, ready? Yeah, and the Democrats did bully. The Democrats ruthlessly bullied the Republicans by explaining their platform to voters. That was very, very bullying. Okay, so here's some more advice what they need to do going forward.
Republicans need to do as President Obama suggested. They need to punch back twice as hard. When they are called racist, the proper response is not, oh, well, I have black friends. That's a silly response. The actual response should be, no, you are racist.
Because I'm rubber and you're glue, and whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. I'm Ben Shapiro.
He's right, though, that they shouldn't use the argument that they have black friends, because, of course, they don't. That would be lying. Yeah.
What about Michael Steele?
Michael Steele's not even buying this anymore. Like, he's wrapped it up.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't work for these guys.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Ben's got a little bit more advice. Let's see the next one.
What that does is it demeans racism. It makes racism into something that means nothing. And that's something that Republicans need to do on a more regular basis.
Yes, that's right. That's a great idea. Republicans running for president should muddy the issues on racism from now on, starting with Richard Nixon.
That's right. That's right. Right.
What? When have they not been doing that?
Yeah.
This is what we need to do going forward. Sure.
Ike didn't really do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Democrats demean racism, whereas the Republicans cherish it.
Yeah.
Big difference. We need more Republicans like Ben Shapiro.
We also I'm sorry, but we
ahead.
let him off the hook for his just flat out, Republicans need not talk about policy anymore.
Yes.
Like, that's his key to victory. Yeah.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about policy. Yeah.
Stop talking about it.
By the way, he's probably right. That doesn't end well for them.
And the Democrats will do anything to win elections, while the Republicans insist on playing by the rules, unless they lose, and then they get the Supreme Court to declare their candidate the winner.
That's right. Yeah. That's
a
how you
little
do it. It's a
different,
civil
right?
thing to do.
But even so, this line of bullshit is even too much for Pat. I pray over clothing from the Goodwill because it might have demon spirits in it. Mm-hmm. This is too much for Pat Robertson, and here's what he says back.
That's what little kids on the playground do. You're a liar. No, you're another one. Is that what you want Republicans to do?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
It is, because I was just on the playground. It was so much fun.